And good evening. What is that?
It's going to be giving us a...
Why is it doing that?
I don't know, we must be
My
having...
connection is crazy right now. Listen, it's just
Hey guys, what's up? We are on YouTube, we are on Facebook. Facebook, when we first came on, it did tell us that our connection is poor. So hopefully the broadcast is not interrupted. Guys, as you see, our title still says Motivational Monday. Don't be confused. It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday.
It's okay though.
We're just a day behind. We are a day behind, but we are still going to get this Motivational Monday in with you guys. We are still going to get this Motivational Monday in with you guys, okay?
Yes, absolutely. Just wanted to start it off this evening talking about the topic that came up with a friend earlier in reference to financial stability and what that means. And we spoke on some topics, and it's funny, the topic realistically was about work and jobs. And he said, you know what, you're never going to be financially stable working a job, period. I don't care how much you make, I don't care how long you work this job for. Jobs are not set up for you to become wealthy. The jobs are set up for you to be on a treadmill for your entire life until you die. That's not the plan for a lot of us, but that's how the jobs are set up. So financial stability and realistically, I think, and we spoke briefly anyway, and it's self-ownership, owning your own business, which is very important, family businesses. These topics are very, a lot of people don't speak on them, and unfortunately the literacy that's given to us at a young age, especially being a black African American, whatever you want to title, whatever you want to say it, with the type of schooling that we go to, they don't teach us these things. So we're kind of like left out of the game, and we're like behind the 8 ball, and it shows. It's still showing. 2019 is still here. So the name and the name of the game right now that we spoke in reference to, finding and starting family-based businesses. Very important. Very, very important. What you think?
Most definitely. I wasn't prepared for this topic,
That's
but
cool. That's cool.
You know, there's a lot of different courses that you can take nowadays that they have out with people who have figured it out, you know, and so...
I'm sorry, but you yourself, you're an entrepreneur. You have books out, you have your own line that you're, trying to grow and things like that. So you yourself would be definitely considered an entrepreneur. And why? Because you have a product. As long as you have a product, you can market, sell it, and that's great. And I think that you probably don't even look at it. Let's tell the people how you got started. In being an author. What do you think?
Well, I've always kind of, been an author.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just find it, just the idea of being able to create your own story.
Right.
Because no one is in control. When you're born into your family, you just kind of are, you're given whatever you're given.
Absolutely.
So, for some people, they look up and, wow, mansions, butlers, nannies, Mercedes-Benz.
Right.
And then unfortunately, you have some people who are looking around and it's really bombs bursting in the air, third world country and, like crazy stuff, and kind of brings me to what I wanted to get into tonight, just letting you guys know that the word of the night is disposition. A lot of times we do not feel as though we have control over our destiny. And if you allow your mind to stay there, your life is going to be limited as far as your happiness, as far as your goals, as far as just everything that you are able to actually manifest. So you have to understand that you are in full control. That is the one thing that you have control over. You don't have no control over the parents that you were given. You don't have no control over even the kids that you were given. Like you know, like unless you adopt, and then you can go in and handpick your kids, you know. But you do have control over your life, you know, and you have control over the way you choose to think in terms of being negative,
right,
and in terms of being positive, in terms of being optimistic, in terms of being pessimistic. Now, I will be the first to admit that I kind of programmed myself to kind of go to the negative first, and it's really more of a defense mechanism. You know, like I feel like, okay, when you tell me like, oh, you know, let's, you know, pack up and take a trip and we're just gonna like, you know, go on the road and we're gonna do this or do that, you know, like most people go right to the, wow, this is gonna be exciting, you know, let me pack my bags now, you know. Where with me, I don't think right away about all the positive things, because to me, I don't want to put my energy into that. That's already a given. We already know the fun stuff. I'm gonna think about, well, do we know anybody that's gonna be there? What are we gonna do as far as like safety? Do you know where we're going? Do you know what's current in the news, like as far as things that's going on in that area? Like I start thinking about all of those things, and then like sometimes when you get so caught up in the negative, it'll make you be paranoid, and then if you become paranoid, then it makes you not want to get out and do anything, and then it makes you like, okay, you're alive, but are you living? You know what I mean? Because you're constantly afraid of, well, what might happen wrong if I do this, but this could happen wrong. But what if you change the dialogue and you start thinking, well, if I do this, this could actually happen right. If I do this, we could actually have a great time. If I do this, you know what I mean? Like, you have to learn how to change that dialogue and change your mind from automatically shifting and focusing and zooming in on that possible negative, and think about that positive that could come out of it. Like even when we start our dreams, you know what I mean? That's a lot of reasons why a lot of times we don't go after our dreams. Because we think about, well, what if I invest and I lose out on all this money, and then I gotta file bankruptcy, and you know, you start thinking about all of these negative things. But what if you succeed? What if you become the first millionaire in your family? What if you can get off your job? What if you, like, you have to think that way. And so it's a work in progress, and I am training myself daily to alter my thinking. Because like I said, that is definitely something that I am stuck. I'm kind of stuck in it, but I think the awareness in itself is going to help me to shift gears. It's just one day at a time. You take it one day at a time, and like I said, it's a protective thing for me. You know, I'm trying to protect myself from that what if negative possibility.
You know, it's also putting a cap or limitations on what you can actually do, because you're not thinking of anything. You're not thinking outside the box. You're kind of keeping yourself in tunnel vision, and that kind of makes things not go as smooth, so to speak. And just to piggyback off what you were saying, and realistically, when it comes down to even thinking, it's a difficult process when things are put in front of you, and you try to find out, okay, what are the best steps for me to take to get to my destination? That's one of the things that a lot of people don't think about. And I mean, to be honest, you know, even unfortunately, the circumstances in which you had to go through situations that made you how you think and how you go about things is something that is learned. It's a learned habit. So those are able to break those same habits that you learn that make you think negative or make you think positive. You can always try to start over and basically give yourself
exactly bread and butter. That's exactly correct.
So again, when it comes down to, hey, you know what, be a little bit more negative on this scenario or this situation, it's a matter of how you look at stuff. And unfortunately, depending on what circumstances and what situations you've been in, determine how your outlook is. Period. If you go through something and you say, you know what, I'm never going to let this happen again, and you but see, you have to take things and scenarios and situations as they come. I try to be a little open-minded when it comes to stuff. I don't like trying to close myself in where I can't benefit from the situation, because I want to allow myself to go further or to learn something else, because I'm kind of either content or I'm comfortable where I am. So unfortunately, a lot of people hold themselves back with their thinking. So again, this is motivational Monday, Tuesday? Something like that? Monday, Tuesday, motivational Tuesday, whatever it is, it's motivation, and it's here, and it's here to keep positive flow of the week going. So I'm happy. It's a good evening this evening. It's real good this evening. I hope everybody's resting. I'm sure they are. It's Tuesday night. What time is this? Late? 10 o'clock? Something like that? About to be 10? Wow, we did start a little late,
but yeah, you have to realize, like, people are quick to say, oh, the world don't revolve around you and this, that, and the third, but we all have our own little individual worlds that we create. You know what I mean? And if you are watching from America right now, then just know that any flaw that you feel that you have, any stepping stone that you feel that you have to get through, I'm not going to knock it, but what I will say is there are people who are literally in far worse conditions that we can even fathom, because we don't wake up. Like, look how crazy we went over 9/11. Some people live that day in and day out, all day. Like, Facts. Dead serious. Like, Facts. They live it all. That's all they know. They, they're traveling, digging tunnels, climbing walls, doing all this stuff just to get here and be able to sleep under a bridge if they can. That would be just great. You know what I mean? So we don't have to do all of that. So any of the stuff that we feel like, oh, we can't do this because of, I had this type of childhood, and like I said, we all have our stories. But unless and there are so many stories with people who have came and fought the great fight from other countries, and now they're super successful. Why? Because they know what true agony, pain, struggle is. We are very spoiled. Even our very mediocre lives. I ain't talking about celebrities and rich people. I'm talking about not even middle class. I'm talking about even if you live a very, even if you live under $20,000 a year. This is what I was just telling my daughter. I said, never sit there and complain about what you feel you don't have, because what's very small to you is a huge blessing to somebody out there. That person who's looking at that person driving that Mercedes, and they're like, oh my gosh, I got these dents in my car, I can't even open up my car, I gotta go over to the other side and let myself in, and this, that, and the third. Guess what? That person waiting at the bus stop wish they had that. And guess what? That person who's, you know, riding a bike, wish they had that. And guess what? The person who's riding a bike that's complaining, the person who's walking wish they had the bike. And the person that's walking complaining is somebody in a wheelchair who wish he could walk. And while that person in the wheelchair is complaining, is somebody who's bedridden who wish they could be in a wheelchair. And while that person who's bedridden complaining is somebody in the grave who wish they was bedridden so that they could still be around their family. So we have to be so, like, stop being so quick to, like, downplay our blessings. No matter how small they may seem to you, is somebody out here who would kill to be in your position.
That's a fact. So the smallest things matter. You'd be surprised. Some people take stuff for granted. That's the problem. You know, so spoiled. Got so much stuff over here. You know what I'm saying? For the ones that have had the opportunity to get what they want and to have things that they need, to be honest. I mean, the way that I can't speak for everybody, but, you know, I didn't have a, you know, bad childhood. You know, we had food and running water and amenities and video games and stuff like that. You know, and that's just the bare minimum. Like these days, you know, it's all a matter of perspective in addition to, like what she was saying, you know, there's always going to be a position that you want to get to that you're not in right now currently. So, you know, be humble, I think. Humble and appreciate what you have, and other things that you want to get and that you know are trying to get. You know, you make a plan and you try to do that. Just talk. So again, that's something that I mean. I
thank you, bread and butter. Thank you.
I take dear to my heart and my family, and you know, trying to make sure that they're okay is something that I personally think about and try to do every day. Every day I think about this type of stuff. You know? Try to make sure my family's okay. You know, that's my only priority, to be honest. So again, in regards to what she was saying, that topic is so strong if you think about it.
And you know what? A lot of us people who are like from America and, you know, like Americanized, our Americanized ways, our thought frame. I'm gonna tell you what happens. We sit back, right, and we try to figure out why the hell or how the hell did these people come over here and they got Chinese restaurants like this, you know, Chinese stores, and got these businesses popping, and, you know, got all this stuff, or came over here and, you know, got corner stores like this, and we trying to figure out what are they doing that we not doing. We've been here all our lives. Let me tell you something. They have a certain type of hunger that you don't have, that I don't. Like, we say we're hungry, but you don't know real hunger. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know their type of hunger and our type of hunger is different. Let me explain the difference. You know how you sitting down and you ain't ate for a couple hours and you like, ooh, I'm hungry. It's time to eat. What's going on, babe? Like you said, we was gonna eat 2 hours ago. So we feel that little hunger pain. But it ain't nothing like we didn't eat for 6 months straight. That's a different type of hunger. You see what I'm saying? It's a different type of hunger. And until you've experienced their type of struggle, this is why they come over and they know what it's like to waste a day. You know what I mean? Like, we take these days so like for granted, like, I'll get to it, this, that, and the third. Right. You know how much stuff they ain't wasting time. They coming over here and they getting straight to it. They seen things we only see in a movie. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So like, you may not have that personal experience that they have to light that flame, but we all have some type of, you know, maybe struggle. It may not be their type of struggle, but it could be you was born, you know, in a house with drugs, with abuse, with things that made you, you know, either feel like I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to never experience this again, or it puts you in a a place where you become stuck. You know what I mean? Like, you become stuck. And it's like it's like you a hamster. You gotta figure out how to get on a bike. A bike actually moves, you know what I mean? You don't want to be in a hamster trail where you doing all of this moving, but you ain't getting nowhere. Exactly, bread and butter. And that's exactly what we do. We look for handouts, and they give it to us, and then you get content.
You get cool.
And I was talking about this with a girlfriend of mine. Now, don't take offense to this, okay? Because first of all, I grew up on welfare. Welfare has helped us a long way, okay? Food stamps, medical, all that. But what I will say is,
oh, geez, sup, baby.
What's up, JM? What I will say as far as welfare and all that, this is my 2 cents on it, and I can speak on it because, like I said, I've been a part of the system. Now, some people, like when it comes to that uncomfortable word of racism, they say like, well, I don't understand, like they can't, you know, like why would they give us this? If they, you know, like why would they supply us with food and medical and this, that, and the third? Well, first of all, you getting food stamps and you getting medical, first of all, you're required to only achieve a certain limit. Like right. you gotta put a cap on it, because once you start making too much money, you cut off. So what the goal is to keep you at just enough. Like I'm gonna tell you, cause we're so lazy, we're okay with it. We'll say, well, you know what? Why would I go to work and, you know, be able to make however much every 2 weeks when I can sit home, get my stamps, get this, get that, and you know, and leave it at that. And if that's what you want to do, then cool, that's what you want to do. But at the same time, you're never going to get to that next level. You're going to always stay here, leaving other people to always be at a different level. So like, you have to pull yourself out the matrix, and you have to say, you know what, this life is easy, this life is very chill, but if I want to get to the next level, yeah, they might cut me off a little bit, and then if I level up again, they might even take me all the way off. But guess what? I can go back to school. I can make more money. I could do this, I could do that. It's just your mindset. If you cool and you content being here, then don't complain. And if you want more, then sometimes that comes with consequences, meaning it's like a rubber band. It pulls you back first. Like, damn, I was getting 500 in stamps. Now I'm getting 300. Dang, I got $2 raise in my job, but now I went down to 100. I got another $2 raise, now I'm cut off. So it's like a rubber band. It's pulling you back, making you be like, you know what? I don't like my boss anyway. I don't want to be there. I don't got to deal with this. I'm going to just go back and, you know what? No, just give me back my stamps. I don't want to do it. You got to take the pain. Well, all things is going to be pain first. Let that rubber band pull you back. But guess what? What happened when you pull the rubber band back? At some point, you're going to let go, and that rubber band flies away. Then you fly off. You know what I mean? You fly into the sky. So it's going to be pain first. It's going to feel like I'm doing more than what I was doing. This is stupid. Why would I do this when I can sit home and do this? Why? Because you ain't going to never leave this place. You ain't going to never level up. You ain't going to never establish who you are as far as your potential. So do it. No matter how, no matter how hard it feels in the beginning, it's always, we all start, well, most of us start with humble beginnings. Most of us start with humble beginnings. So.
I just wanted to piggyback off my man right here, Cliff. And what he's saying is more or less that you have to be productive every day. And I'm so 100% behind that, or you will be lost. I agree with you, brother. That makes sense to me. And again, like I spoke on earlier, family businesses must look into creating some type of business that you own and operate. Very important. The jobs are not set up for you to be rich. The jobs are not set up for you to have enough money to live on and give you enough to pay your bills and come on back next week. Don't dare miss a shift. Oh man, my check's going to be short. You know, you got bills to pay. The job is there, set up so that you stay on the job forever. This is the plan. The plan is to create business that you can either market or some type of service, so that you can kind of control. That's the difference between somebody who is going to be, in my opinion anyway, I can't just say that because that's, you know, everybody's different, but in my opinion, a job is set up so that you can come back. That's it. And creating businesses is what everybody, especially unfortunately being black in America, there's already a job just trying to survive. I'm sorry, I gotta say it, baby. I apologize. I'm not trying to take this thing left, but it's a job and it's difficult. And you gotta play by certain rules. You gotta stay under the radar. But as far as financial literacy and creating jobs and creating your own type of business is where it's at. Period. Some type of services, something that you can market. That's it. Nothing else. That's it. I mean, I don't think there's any else as far as, you know, creating businesses and you know, setting up businesses for your children's or for your children's children. You know, that's something that I think is most important, especially being a male and having a family and having children. You want to leave them something, and that's the most important thing to me. Period. And it's making sure that they're okay. You know, I can talk forever on that. I'm sure that you touched on something.
Who was it? Was it Jay-Z? You know what? I'm going to probably misquote. I'm probably going to misquote who it was who said this. Man, it was Jay-Z or it was Kanye. I don't know who it was, y'all. But I just know somebody said that the difference between, I don't know who it was, but basically you supposed to hustle for your last name and not your first name. Now, when you go to a job, that's a first name hustle because the only person on that check is you. But when you create your own business, that's a last name hustle because you could basically pull whoever in your family. You could pull family, friends. You know, you're doing it beyond your first name. There's no guarantee that you could pull people in from your job when you at your job. And even if you pull people in at your job, you have no control over if the boss fired them. You know what I mean? Like, well, hey, cuz I did get you in, but you know, like you don't have no control. So when you hustle for your last name, you have total control. You have total control over who you bring in. When you leave this world, you can leave this world comfortably knowing that your kids are secure. They got something that they can, you know, keep going for themselves, for the next generation, and so forth. So, like, the goal is to hustle for your last name. You know what I mean? Not just your first name. When you're clocking in, like I said, your name was on that time sheet. You can't do it unless you're teaching your kid the same trade skills and everything, and it's still not a guarantee. Maybe you could pull them in, but it's no guarantee.
Right.
So
you got the boss.
Right, exactly. So you have to create something where you're your own boss, where your legacy is going to carry on. You're going to have an opportunity for your kids. Now, that's not to say to get what's it called? What you don't want to do, and I've seen this, like I haven't seen this personally happen, but I've seen this in movies where it's a family business going on, and sometimes the child don't share the same interests. Now that's when it get a little tricky because you looking at tunnel vision, like no, you gotta, like if I own a restaurant and you know, like I'm getting older and I don't want to pull in strange management, like I want to bring you on board and you know what I mean, this and that. And they say, well listen, mom, dad, I don't want to run a restaurant. Like my dream is to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever the case is. Then it kind of gets sticky because you like, well look, you going back to that job mentality. This is a business, like, you know, whatever, like you, I don't know. I mean, I guess when it comes to that type of situation, maybe you can convince them to follow their dreams, because you don't want to be like, you don't want to have a relationship with no one who's bitter. Like, and I was just talking to my girlfriend about that, because even in relationships, going back to what you said you wanted to talk about, you have to figure out when is it okay to agree to disagree, and be able to do it in love, meaning that we're going to agree and disagree on the topic, and then we can carry on with the day, and no one's, you know, walking around huffing and puffing, still feeling some sort of way. And then when is it a situation where, okay, this is not an appropriate situation for us to agree or disagree, we're going to have to come to a compromise, or someone's going to be feeling some sort of way.
Right. Very important, compromise.
Right.
Very important.
So, you have to be very careful when it comes to your loved ones when you're not willing to compromise, because you're going to have you're gonna build bitterness between the two.
Animosity. In
a relationship, yeah. If I wanted to do certain things, like right now, if I always had a passion to be a model, and that's just was always my dream, and then he's like, no, I don't want you doing that. That's negative attention. You don't need to be doing that kind of stuff. Like, okay, this is when it's that time where you're like, okay, is this something that I can compromise with, or are we just gonna have to agree to disagree, because this always been my dream before you ever even came in the picture. And now if I decide to compromise and say, okay babe, I ain't gonna do it, you're happy, but now I'm kind of bitter. And then you like thinking, like, now what happens if, you know, 10 years down the line, I'm still thinking about, well, what if I would have did that? I could have been, you know, America's Next Top Model or whatever like this, and now you holding a grudge because you held me back from my dream. So you got to know when it's appropriate to compromise and when it's like, we might have to agree to disagree in love. I don't want no drama. I don't want, because I don't agree with you on this situation, that we can't agree in love and move on. You know what I mean? So
I think that might even cause compromise and a little bit of animosity. Think about it. When you say, it comes to the agreement that, all right, you know what, I'm not really appreciating how this is going. I know you want to do it, but I don't really like it. But you know what, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do that. That you can say that as an individual, as a person, but they're really in your heart of hearts. Mm-hmm. You don't want that done because you already expressed how you feel. So when you say, you know what, I'm just doing this for you, I'm doing this in love, you know what, I got you. But realistically, I don't even know how that works, because that's like kind of fake. Either one way or the other. There's no gray area. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna let you go, not let you, but all right, you want to do this, and I'm going to go ahead and just stand back and let you do your thing. But I'm not necessarily happy about it, whatever it is. So, you know, it's like, all right, well, when do you draw the, you know, the line in and say, you know what, maybe there's a way that you can do this and still be done, and I won't feel any type of way about it. Mm-hmm. Let's consider compromising in a manner that possibly helps both parties.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or because I like what you said though. You was like, you know, what you said earlier about the disagreeing, you know, in love. That means not being upset about the decision, and even though you said, I don't necessarily like this, but all right, because you want to do it.
Right. And you know what? A lot of people don't know how to also, they, like, if you have a void inside of you where for whatever reason you've never really had a positive structure with how to be able to be friends with someone, and know that it's okay for us not to agree with every little thing.
Right.
Some people feel like they gotta be yes guys. Like, I'm gonna agree with everything you say because I want you to like me. I'm gonna agree with everything you say because I don't want no drama. I don't want to make waves. Like, no. You know, first of all, if you're friends with someone that you feel that you can agree with, or is going to be issues, then to me, that's already an issue. Because if you really are truly my friend, then you're going to want real advice. You're going to want my real opinions. You're not just going to, because then basically what are you coming to me for?
Right.
You're basically having the same conversation with yourself. Because if I'm just saying exactly what you're saying, then you're not really talking to me, you're talking to you.
Talking to yourself.
Right.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
If you're that way, you have to distance yourself. Absolutely, say Cliff. And like, so
that can go both ways too, because what determines dead weight? You know, like if somebody's like emotionally draining you, or somebody's always trying to take advantage of you,
or just someone that's holding you back. Like, when I think of dead weight anyway, that's what I'm thinking of. Like, you know, because when I think of dead weight, I automatically, you feel heavy. Like, why am I carrying all of the load? Like, you're not trying to do your part.
Right.
Like, you know, is this not something where I scratch your back, you scratch my back? Like, that's right, say Cliff. And a lot of times, you know, like I said, a lot of times people are so scared. It's a lot of people who are not quality type of people. I'm a quality person. You know, I'm that person that,
quantity.
Yeah, I'm for quality.
Yes.
I don't require, you know, to have a whole bunch of people around me to feel significant. I feel significant regardless.
Right.
That's like, if I'm on Facebook, if one person liked my picture, I will still feel like 1 million people liked it. It doesn't matter. I don't require your numbers to make me feel good, because I already feel good about myself.
Absolutely.
It doesn't make a difference. Where other people need that. If they don't get that, they don't feel satisfied.
It's a problem.
They'll take the picture down. Something must be wrong. You know, they panic. They go into anxiety. Let me go back into the gallery. Maybe there's a better picture. This one will get more likes. And I'm not coming at you. There's a void that needs to be filled. There's something that you have to look at within yourself, because that means that you don't have a high self-esteem. No one is responsible to make you feel good about yourself. You have to feel good about your own self. Trust me, I have seen girls who look absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, guys who are handsome, and they might have 5 likes on their picture. I'm looking at you and I know that you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, and let me tell you, sometimes it's because you're being hated on. It's not always because, it could be exactly because they hate. It could be they're hating. It could be like a lot of, you're not popular. You know, it don't always have to do with because you're ugly. It's a lot of different reasons, but this is why social media can sometimes be like a bad thing, because it really have people who already have insecurity issues. It just heightens it. It heightens it, and you really like don't even want to put a picture up, because it's like, if I don't get, like you already tell yourself, if I don't get X amount of likes, then you know, you feel worthless, or you feel like
you're not content. You're like,
yeah, you know what I mean?
What's going on?
Don't put it up for the like. Put it up because you like the picture. You like the picture and you want to put it up. You know what I mean? And I know it's, like I said, if you're struggling with those feelings, then that means that you have to take some time and put time into self-care. Self-care, and you know, this is why I said we're in control of our own destination. We were given free will. You were given free will, so you make your own decisions. You're not a robot. If you're not happy with your life, you have the absolute free will to do what you want. You see these people go and they get surgery. I'm not saying to run and get surgery, but I'm saying this is what they do because this is what they feel is going to make them feel better. So they run and say, hey, I'm gonna get some butt shots. Hey, I'm gonna get a boob job.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna turn my eyes blue. Hey, I'm gonna, you know, whatever the case is, do a tummy tuck. If this is what you feel is gonna make you feel good, then hey, that's what they do. Or if you say, hey, you know what, maybe it's not a physical thing, you know, like, and I'm gonna tell you, at a certain point in my life, when I wasn't the way how I am now, and I put a video up not too long ago, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, on this page, on both pages, on YouTube and Facebook, basically sharing with you guys that I wasn't always, you know, confident as I am in myself now. You know, after I had the kids and everything, with all women, when your body goes through changes and you have kids and stuff, it takes a lot of time for you to adjust to your new body, you know, your new kid body or whatever. So in the meantime, you have to, you know, just kind of build your own self up. And so before I got to where I am now, I actually took a trip to the office. Yes, say Cliff, you really do. You do, because you have trolls out here too. You have trolls, which is another topic I'm going to make sure I come back to. But finishing this thought, I had, you know, was feeling bad at a certain point. And I did go to the office and I looked into the gastric bypass surgery. And I think after, like, you know, that first conversation with him and just, you know, hearing all of the risk and this and that, I went home and, you know, I talked to myself, and I had to make an executive decision and say, you know what, you are not like huge, you are capable, you're not like on like that story 600-pound life where you're not able to move. I am definitely a willing, able body. I'm able to work out, I'm able to do things to get myself, you know, on track the way how I envision myself. You know, it has nothing to do with other people, because other people will say, Candy, what the hell, you look good, like, I love your body, this and the third, but see, it don't have nothing to do with you. What you like is what you like. Me personally, I have certain areas that I want to tighten up, you know. So it took a while for me to sit there and figure out what I wanted to do, but ultimately I said, you know what, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna give myself till a certain age, and if I didn't do the work on my own to like do it, then I'll cross that road again. But like I said, you have to sit there and make that decision. You have to tell yourself, hey, what can I do to make myself happy? So that way you're not sitting around saying, well, me. You have the power to change your world. You have the power to literally wake up and say, what is one thing, just one thing that I can do today that's going to move my life in the direction that I want it to go in. And if you did that every single day and only focus on one goal, and people hear goal and they think it has to be something huge, but one goal, a goal is a goal. It can be something small. It could be as small as, today I'm going to write out my 5-year plan, and that's your goal for the day. And then tomorrow I'm going to, you know what, these clothes been sitting here for 2 weeks. I've been saying I was going to go to that laundromat. Let me get that done today. That is a goal accomplished. Because guess what? If you didn't do it, you still have clothes sitting there tomorrow and no fresh clothes. So a goal is a goal. Don't think that, oh, because you didn't get a degree today, you didn't accomplish a goal today. A goal can be something small or big. Whatever you made as your goal to accomplish is your goal to accomplish. So if every day you set out for just one goal, that's it, just one, by the end of the week, you would have accomplished 7 goals. Which means by the end of the month, you would have accomplished 7, 14, 21, 28. 28 goals for the month. So like just doing one little thing, because that's one of the things that I feel like we do at times that kind of set us up for failure. We get so excited. We get excited when we start thinking about the future, and we get pumped, and then we try to do too much at one time. You try to do too much. Like, even me with my diets, I'd be like, you know what? I ain't eating this, I ain't eating that, I ain't da. And next thing you know, by day 3, you like, you had to shake. You like, baby, burger. So you don't want to try to do too much at one time. Just say today, no sodas. I'm gonna do no sodas for this week. Next week, let's cut out the breads. Next week, let's cut out the candy. Do it like that. You know that way, like, you do too much at one time, it's gonna be an overload. So you just tell yourself, I'm gonna do one thing every day. And I guarantee you, in a 6-month time frame, we just said 28 in 1 month. What's 28 times 6? Let's see, 28 and 6. 8 times 6, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. 8, carry the 4. Wait, what's the numbers I'm working with? Okay, so 6.
I'm letting you do your thing, concentrate.
Listen, I am not a math genius, okay? Whatever the number is, gosh darn it, that's the number that y'all will be ahead, okay? So, we have to just, you know, one step at a time. One step at a time. You will reach your goal. Do not overload yourself. Do not overstress yourself, or you're going to set yourself up for failure. Go ahead, baby. You tapped in.
All right. Tapped in. Okay. So, the plan I'm going to leave you with this evening until next week. And we also will be on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 9 o'clock. 9 p.m. Why are you looking at me with that face?
Because how are you just going to say that we're going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
Just let me set it up, please. Like, that's not unfortunately, I think it's a part of life.
Yes, St. Cliff.
It's a part
I
of
only
life.
agree to Mondays.
Hey, listen, we want to get this thing, shake this thing up a little bit. You know, you got to know how to call it audible sometimes and play, depending on the circumstances. I think that should be the days. Again, we'll go back to the round table and figure out the times, but definitely be looking for us. You know, leave with positive thoughts, positive images. Keep your team close, safe. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy life. There's a lot of good stuff out there. You know, try to be open-minded to things. Try new things. Safe things, but new. And that's the way, right? We got a couple minutes. Not real crazy. Just about to shut it down. School in the morning and all that. I definitely want to leave everybody with thanks for tuning in again.
Guys, if you're not subscribed to our channel, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Facebook, share the live. We hit so many awesome topics. I don't even remember everything we talked about.
Appreciate y'all for stopping in and
thank you, St. Cliff. Thank you.
Yes.
Every Monday, you can expect us here for Motivational Monday at between 8 and 9.
Right.
All this Wednesday and Friday stuff he talking about, I don't know what he's talking about. It's just Motivational Monday.
I didn't get the memo. The updated memo. I didn't get the updated memo. So, excuse me. I'm sorry. And that information, I'm going to retract that.
Yes.
I'm going to retract that information. So, we'll be... How you feeling? You feel good?
Yeah. I feel like we did a great job covering everything.
Baby.
I don't, at this particular time, feel like we missed anything.
I don't think so.
But what I would, close
you always
on...
leave a comment.
What I would close on and say is that... What I would close on and say is, if you take anything from the live, I just want you to take that, no matter your circumstances, presently. Even if you sleeping on somebody's couch, guess what? It's somebody outside who wish they had a couch to sleep on.
Facts.
Okay?
Facts.
So don't get caught up in the whole, woe is me, because 9 times out of 10, if you are sleeping on somebody's couch, it gotta be a hell of a mind entrapment to know that 9 times out of 10 this person really don't want you here. They took you in because you family or you a friend, and you know they kind, but everybody like their privacy, you know what I mean? Everybody like their, you know, time to themselves. So
Definitely.
You know that it might be more of a, you know, burden or whatever like that, but at the same time, don't let that stress you. Don't let that bring you down, because like I said, you still ahead of the game, because you got a couch to be on, you got a floor to be on. When them people that you walking past that's outside, they don't. And even if you are somebody who's outside, guess what? I got a message for you too. Where are you outside at? Because if you outside and on the street somewhere in America, you still have so many opportunities ahead of you.
Absolutely.
You ain't outside in the street in
Palestine.
Yeah, somewhere where bombs going off left and right. You see these pictures and it just breaks my heart whenever I see these pictures that look so crazy. And it's like, wow, like I can't even fathom, like I can't even imagine it. And thank God I don't have to, you know, knock on wood. So just always know that no matter what your crisis is, no matter what your situation is, somebody somewhere and not too far is praying for your exact situation.
Peace. That's a fact. Peace to all, and to all a good night. Yes.
Alright guys, so we just shut down Facebook, YouTube, St. Cliff. Thank you so much for staying in and rocking with us. I hope you subscribed, and we will definitely see you back next Monday sharp. Alright guys, good night. I have no idea why this did not share to my page.